So, true story, my son comes home and he goes, Mom and Dad, you have to go see this movie called Inconvenient Truth by Al Gore. And I was like, what are you talking about, Jordan? And he goes, Mom, you and Dad need to go see this movie. It's really important. And when I saw it, it clicked for me. It clicked. I said, oh my goodness, this climate change is going to be so strategic for every company in the world.
Jeu des deux spirales d'utilité, on a été dans une société peut-être trop matérialiste à un moment. C'est-à-dire qu'on s'est trop intéressé à la production pour la production. Produire, consommer, produire, consommer, produire. Voilà, on est allé trop loin. Et bien maintenant, il faut un peu se poser, se calmer, et puis regarder comment on peut rééquilibrer tout ça. Voilà.
It's making change happen. It's making change happen for good reasons and for positive outcomes.
It's really about value generation, right? And it's about the long-term prosperity of organizations. It's all about giving purpose and meaning to work.
ESG is actually a transformation accelerant. You cannot have true long-term sustainable business success today if you don't integrate ESG as a critical component of measurement.
I think one of the biggest challenges is that people think ESG, it sort of feels like a tsunami coming at them, and they don't know exactly what to do.
You have a lot of different regulation that can be discordant. So you're kind of grabbing, at things. It's actually, if I was going to think of something, you're juggling. You're ultimately juggling, but you can't stop.
The landscape is changing so quickly, right? And so the number of issues continue to grow, and the nuances of those individual issues are certainly getting more complex.
It's just gotten so much more visibility. There's so many more stakeholders and so many more people interested in what companies are doing.
Greenwashing is a really sort of dynamic topic right now. We've seen some very high-profile examples of that just recently in Europe. I think if you aren't kind of walking the walk, if you're making exaggerated claims, you're going to be called out, and rightly so.
Governance is essential to ESG. It's like your check and balance, right? It is making sure that you're doing what you're saying, making sure that we're focusing on the right things.
You can boil the ocean with your ESG efforts, but not having a more focused impact on what's important to you will result in the complexity that's out there in the ESG world overwhelming all of your efforts.
The question about, do you insource or outsource the capability? I'm a heavy believer that you have to have that capability inside. And the reason is I don't see ESG as something that you're just doing to ensure you align with regulation. ESG is now the heart of the strategy of corporations.
ESG absolutely has to be enabled through technology to accelerate the outcomes that we want.
I think as ESG evolves and becomes more complex, having an ESG-oriented tech stack is going to become increasingly important to both track and manage what you're doing with ESG, as well as provide you with the expertise necessary to understand where you are on your path to your goal and how you can get to the finish line.
I think it's important to approach ESG in a smart way. And, what is the smart way to ESG? I think that is really knowing what your goals are, being realistic about what you can and can't achieve in a certain time frame. That is what future-proofing is, right?